What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for being here on my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about, including TV shows, movies, comic books, video games, just everything that I like. So today, I'm going to give you guys my review of Bad Boys for Life, or Bad Boys 3. But before I give that review, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I put out a lot of content. Just want to make sure you're up to date on everything it is that I'm doing. So let's talk Bad Boys for Life. And this was one that it's been out for a couple weeks now, and I just got around to watching it. Why? Because honestly, personally, I didn't have a lot of hype for it. I know a lot of people did, and for me, I just wasn't all that excited about it. I really liked the first Bad Boys movie. I really liked that first Bad Boys movie, but I didn't really care all that much for Bad Boys 2. And when a franchise is only batting 50%, I'm not going to be super excited about the third one. And so obviously it's been a couple weeks out, and I just now got around to watching it. Well, that was my mistake, because Bad Boys for Life was wonderful. It was a really good time. It was really well made. It was very funny. The action sequences were intense and well done and well choreographed. And this was just a hoot of a movie. And yeah, for whatever reason, I thought, it's been a lot of years since Bad Boys 2. This is one of those sequels that we really don't need. Well, guess what? We needed this because it was fun. So Will Smith plays Mike Lowry, and he's the central character. I mean, we know that Will Smith is going to be the central character, which is funny because in the first Bad Boys, I feel like Martin Lawrence is more the central character. Martin Lawrence was a bigger name than Will Smith when the first one came out. And then in Will Smith 2, in Bad Boys 2, Will Smith, Mike Lowry, he was the bigger character. And then here in Bad Boys 3, he is by far the bigger character than Martin Lawrence's the character. And in this one, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have to battle a bad guy that has very close ties to Mike Lowry's past. Ties that are so close they might even be familial. They might even be family ties, and that's probably more spoiler than I should give. But guys, it brought about new layers to these Bad Boys characters that I never even really thought was possible, because I always kind of viewed it as a disposable franchise. And there's a lot of people that have actually told me in the past, LQ, the Bad Boys movies are great. This is a viable franchise. And I was like, first one was good, second one was meh. So I don't know. I just always viewed these characters as disposable. I viewed the franchise as disposable, and I'm so glad that this third one came out and that it was as good as it was, because now I'm looking into the future at future installments of the Bad Boys franchise, and they set it up beautifully for a part 4. They had this little end stinger where they set up part 4, and I want to see that story. I want to see that story. So yeah, we'll keep this pretty brief because I really don't. Normally, I don't mind getting into spoilers on anything that I talk about, but this one, for whatever reason, I just have a certain kind of almost like it surprised me so much that I just don't want to talk spoilers, because I just think that I didn't know anything going into this. I didn't know anything going into this other than the fact that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were in it. I didn't know anything going into this. And it just struck me so good, and it struck me so well that the surprises were earned, and the twist that we had at the end were earned. And I felt so good about them. Now, there was a twist at the end. One character started behaving in a way that was inconsistent with the way that he behaved the whole movie. He kind of had a little change of viewpoint that I thought was a little bit abrupt, but even that to some extent felt earned, because they did the legwork early on in the movie to establish who this character was, and he's the main antagonist, one of the two main antagonists. He had a turn, a change in his viewpoint at the end that was it was a little abrupt, and he, I just, it was abrupt. But like I said, they did legwork to establish who this character was. That it didn't matter at that point. Um, let's talk. So Will Smith was great in this, and Will Smith's Mike Lowry was great in this, and this was it was his movie. He carried it. But let's talk Martin Lawrence for a second, because Martin Lawrence has not been on the scene much lately, and he's put on some weight. He's obviously a little older. He's not going to have the same kind of action sequences that Will Smith is going to have. And that was actually something that was part of the story. That was something they actually got to play up some. And play with the fact that he has lived more of a family life. And when men live more of the family life, they often get little pot bellies, get a little pudgy, kind of relax a little bit, kind of slow it down a little bit, and that was something that Martin Lawrence's character did. And they played on that, and when it was time for him to have his action sequences, they didn't go so extravagant and bombastic with it that you rolled your eyes. They still, nothing. I won't say they were in the realm of believability, because they weren't, but you bought them. You bought them because of how they were presented. The supporting cast was also really good in this. The one that really stuck out to me was Vanessa Hudgens. Now, I'm a Vanessa Hudgens fan. I really enjoy most of her movies, even the Netflix movies that she does. I really enjoy her as an actress, and she played a different kind of character in this. She played more of a action oriented character in this, and there's never a second where I wasn't buying Vanessa Hudgens in the action role. So for whatever reason, she was definitely a standout to me, and I really enjoyed her character, even though her character had pretty limited screen time, especially up until the third act. Her character had very limited screen time. It was a little more in the third act, but yeah, she was a standout to me. But guys, overall, I gotta tell you, Bad Boys for Life was wonderful. It was absolutely a very charming, very funny surprise. And let's keep 2020 going like this, because I just really enjoyed it. So, sorry I'm late to the party on Bad Boys for Life. I kind of didn't feel any urgency to see it, but I gotta tell you, if you haven't seen it yet, feel urgency, because it is good. It is good, and it's worth seeing on the big screen. So, that's my take on it. What did you think of Bad Boys for Life? I'm giving it an A. A solid A. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. And thank you so much for being here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.